Hi guys, I hope you all are doing well. I hope everyone is feeling well and everyone's happy and healthy. Hopefully you've been enjoying the nice weather. I know it's going to get cold today, but hopefully you have been able to go out and had a good weekend. I want to talk for a little bit about our new unit. So we are starting unit 6 in the book, and this unit is going to be talking about time management. Time management. So, how you use your time, how you say, I'm going to spend this amount of time on this activity and this amount of time on this activity. So, very similar to scheduling that we had talked about before. So, part of this unit, they're going to be talking about what are some things that you have to do in your life. So, I want you to think to yourself, what are some things you have to do when you are busy? Some things that I think of, I have to do schoolwork, I have to clean my house, I have to cook dinner. Those types of things are things that I have to do when I am busy, and I have to manage my time to be able to do everything well. Now, for homework, you all were in the book, so you are in the student book on page 70 and 71. So if you go with me in your book, you are on these pages in your book. So you saw the pictures, you looked at Winston, you looked at Winston and his mother and all of the things that he had to do. So hopefully you were able to do the listening and you were able to fill out this chart on, you're able to fill out this chart on page 71. So hopefully that went well. If you had any questions about that, please let me know. I did want to talk a little bit about the vocabulary. So in part 3, where it says, after you listen, we had some new vocabulary to talk about. So I'm going to read the word, and I want you to repeat after me to practice the pronunciation. The first one is chores. Chores. So chores are things that you have to do around the house. So things like cleaning or cooking or taking out the garbage. Those are all examples of chores. The next one is deadline. 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 So a deadline means that it's the last time you can do something. So a lot of times at work, you have a deadline. Say you have to get your work done by this time, and that time is your deadline. Good. Number 3 is due. Due. So the homework is due on Thursday. Number 4, impatient. Impatient. So impatient means not patient, not able to wait. So if you look at the word, you can see this I am at the beginning. That am means not. So if someone is patient, they are able to wait. And if they are impatient, that I am means not. So they are not patient. Then number 5 is prioritize. Prioritize. So this one's a little bit harder. Let's look at it for a second. Let's practice this one because it has a few more syllables. So if we look at prioritize, we look at prioritize. Not very good. There we go. So if we look at it broken down, we have prioritize. Pri or that ties. Good. So repeat after me. Ties, it ties, or it ties, prioritize. Good. So practice that. It's a little bit longer, but prioritize means you put it in order of importance, in order of what is most important, what you need to do first, what you need to do second, what you need to do third. So earlier in the year, we had the word priority. If you remember that, we had the word priority, which meant that something was important to you. So if you say, my family is my priority, that means your family is very important to you. And then now we have prioritize. And it means that you put things in order of importance. So this is the noun, and this is the verb. So a priority is something that is important, and prioritize means that you put things in order of their importance. So if you have 3 things to do today, if you have to cook, you have to clean, and you have to take your child to the doctor, you have to prioritize and say, taking him to the doctor is most important, then I will cook, then I will clean. So you will put it in order of what is most important. Good. Repeat after me one more time. Prioritize. Good. Then the next word, procrastinating. 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 Good. So to procrastinate or to be procrastinating means that you don't want to do your work and you wait a really long time and do it at the last minute. So if you have a deadline for your work and you have to get your work done on Wednesday and you procrastinate, means that on Sunday you don't do it, on Monday you don't do it, and then you do it all on Tuesday. So you are procrastinating. And then the last word, tasks. Tasks. At the end there's a lot of the S sound. Tasks. Good. Good. So for homework, hopefully you went through that. You filled out this from the listening. You did this paragraph that you can't see. There we go. You filled out this paragraph. And then there's a question at the bottom that I want you to think about. When you have a lot of things to do, how do you decide what to do first? So how do you make that decision about what is most important? How do you prioritize your schedule? Okay. I am going to have you write an answer to this question. So that will be part of your homework for tonight. For tonight, you will write about maybe 3 to 5 sentences. It does not have to be a well-organized paragraph. It's just going to be a couple sentences to describe how you prioritize. Okay? Now, I will say, if you did this homework and you have not sent it to me yet, please send it to me. You just have to take a picture with your phone and send it to me on Remind. But that lets me give you credit for doing it so that you are getting hours and you can stay enrolled. Now, let's take a look at page 72. Page 72 in the book. At the top, it says an adverb clause. An adverb clause. Don't worry so much about that. What I want you to focus on is that we are using time clauses with when. So if you look at these two examples, you'll see some examples of time clauses. So the first one says, when I have a lot to do, I make a to-do list. The second one says, when she feels tired, she takes a break. So, if we look at the question words, so the question word we are using here is when. So we're using the question word when. When. And when we use this word when, we are talking about a time. So when we use the word when, we are always talking about a time. So in this case, we are using a full sentence to talk about the time that something happened. So if we look at this first sentence, it says, when I have a lot to do, I make a to-do list. Where is the time in this sentence? Think to yourself. So the time is when I have a lot to do. So that is the time that it happens. You could say the question, when do I make a to-do list? When I have a lot to do, I make a to-do list. So this happens at this time. In the same way, if we look at the second one, it says, when she feels tired, she takes a break. So when she feels tired is the time, and she takes a break is what happens at that time. So we use these a lot in your normal everyday speech. I'm sure you do things like this all the time, and I'm sure you hear people say this. Things like, when the weather is nice, I will go to the park. Or, when school is over, my son comes home. All of those are using when to tell you the time that something happens. So, for homework, what I want you to do is write 3 sentences that use a when clause. So, I am going to send you some examples and then some sentence starters. So I'm going to give you some examples of more sentences that use when, and then I'm going to give you some starting parts of the sentence. So I'm going to give you things like, when the weather is nice, or when I visit my family, or when I go to work. And I want you to finish those sentences by telling me what you do at those times. So I'm going to send that to you for homework. Please finish it, send me a picture of it, and I will look over it and give you some feedback on it. So, in conclusion, your homework for tonight, for the next couple of days, I want you to write a few sentences about this question down at the bottom, and you're going to write 3 sentences using the sentence starters that I give you, all that use this when clause. I hope you all are doing well. If you have any questions, just let me know. You can always send me a message on Remind, and I will answer whatever questions you have. But I hope you all are doing well. I miss seeing you, and hopefully I will see you soon.